Saludos amigos, Cash, President and CEO of Cash International Luxury Real Estate. Guys, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing amazing. So what we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be sharing a couple, I've got some Q&A. So I'm no expert in water filtration, but I've done my best to get up to speed with Jeremy, who is our expert in the Dominican Republic. This guy's been focusing on this for the last year and a half. We've been working together, getting ready to launch the company, Water Filtration, in the Dominican Republic. And today's some questions that I already know answers to, but I know they're important questions because you guys would be asking those questions as well. And Jeremy's here with me. We're going to be running through this full install, so we're going to have a video showing you guys exactly the steps of the install so you guys can understand it. We're going to be explaining the equipment so you understand that, and we're going to be showing you even to the degree of tests. Okay, we're going to be testing the blue jugs, we're going to be testing the water out of your tap, we're going to be testing the blue jugs from Las Serenas, the blue jugs from Cap Cana and Punta Cana. We're going to be testing the water in different areas of Las Serenas, be it Playa Bainas, Playa Bonita Hills. We're going to be testing all of that. So you're going to see a series of videos. You're going to be able to dial right in to learning exactly what it is that you need to learn about drinking clean water. And why did we go on this mission? We're going to talk about that. Look at our intro video where we explain why we're doing that. But what I want you guys to see here today is I'm talking a little bit about the reverse osmosis system, and I'm asking some questions of Jeremy. And I said, you know what, Jeremy, I got to record this. It's too important. I got to record it. So we're bringing you guys along for this question and answer session with Jeremy. Jeremy's right here. Okay, you guys are getting to know him pretty well from the channel. He is our VP of operations. He is running the entire show. We're working together and we're getting this thing all done. All right, Jeremy, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this reverse osmosis. So where we're at right now, full home system. We're trying to figure out exactly how we get a full home system into my penthouse. So Jeremy will explain there's some challenges sometimes that can occur there. So I said to my question here, which he was answering, is if we can't figure out how to get a full home system, we can't find a space, okay, because that could be sometimes the issue. If I can't find a space, then can I just do an under-counter reverse osmosis system? Will that give me the clean drinking water I want for myself and my family? And this is kind of where we're at. So, Jeremy, go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Go ahead, tell me what we're looking at.
So to answer your question on will a reverse osmosis drinking water system give me what I need for drinking water? It will. However, each person's or each unit, each place we go to has different water coming in. So we obviously have to do a test to see the different particles and the contaminants and stuff that are in
Exactly.
the water. If we have a place that has like well water, for instance, which has a lot of sediment in it, then you have to pre-filter it before you can go into a reverse osmosis system. Reverse osmosis system is designed to filter the water down to a definitive 99.9% H2O. No byproducts, no chemicals, nothing. That's what they're designed to do. It's pure drinking water. It strips everything out of the water. And it does it by going through several different stages of filtration. This unit here that we have is a tankless unit. There are systems that have a small 3 or 4 to 5 gallon tank but they take up more space. We do carry those models as well, but this is a tankless model that we have.
You know what you can do? Hop back here with me, because then we'll be able to kind of show these systems off a little bit and point them out to these guys. Because I'm going to have a lot of questions with you guys. Okay, some of these are going to be rhetorical questions that I'm going to be asking, but all this is about you being an educated consumer of water. That's what Jeremy's really doing here.
Yep.
All right, so you said we have multiple systems. What systems is Water Filtration Systems offering our clients? What do we have?
We have
For Undersink.
For Undersink reverse osmosis drinking water, we have two models. We have a standard model that, I say standard because it has the tank that goes along with it. So as the water gets filtered through, it goes into a holding tank.
Okay.
Those are pretty common systems.
And we carry that as well.
And we carry that as well. They're a little bit less costly than this unit.
What's the reason for that?
These are kind of the new units that are coming out. They're all inclusive, they're compact.
What does that word mean, all inclusive?
Means all of the filters are going into a housing where you don't have the separate filters on a typical RO.
Okay.
You have to change out the cartridge and the housing, and everything goes into the unit itself.
Oh wow, let me show you guys.
So it's all compact, all the filters get put into one housing, and all the filtration is done right there. It doesn't use a tank, so it takes up less space.
All right, that's a key benefit.
And these provide about 50 gallons per day. If you were to run this constantly, you
How much water, and I'm going to be asking a lot of questions about this, because how much water does an average human being consume in one day?
Well, it
How much?
depends. I typically consider myself average.
Okay.
I probably drink 2 to 3 gallons a day.
2 to 3 gallons a day. So easily
Throughout
supply
the
a family
day.
of 4 for fun.
Absolutely. Throughout the day, if you include your coffee and your other beverages that you might mix with water,
totally.
and then I'm always filling up my water at the tap. I've got a cooler cup that I carry with me all over just to have with me.
So a family would be well under that. They might get
Absolutely.
like 15 gallons, everything included.
Absolutely.
Got it,
Yep.
got it. Okay. Why would someone pick this over the tank system? Is it space and cost? And why would you recommend this one over that or that one over this? What would be the scenarios?
So space and cost, yes, play a factor in that. Also, if you have backup power.
Interesting. Okay, explain that.
So this unit here doesn't have a tank. This is making water on demand. If you have a place that doesn't have backup power or has a problem with when your power goes out, you have no
We're in
water.
the Dominican Republic. This is a
Right.
constant issue.
You have no water. When your power goes out, you're not going to have any drinking water. As opposed to a storage tank system, if the power goes out and you don't have backup, you've got 3 to 5 gallons of
interesting.
water
Okay.
set there, turn the faucet on, you get the water.
So is it fair to say, and this is what we're going to do for you, and this is what I'm going to be working with Jeremy on this as well. We're going to analyze it's not just about buy this system, it's about analyzing your water, but then also your location,
Absolutely.
your power. There's some areas in Las Vegas that, the power's on and off, on and off.
Yep.
They don't have backup generators.
Absolutely.
So that'll be one of those deciding factors as well. So there is no one shirt fits all type of scenario here. It has to be an analysis.
We're going to custom tailor it to the location and the purpose.
Got it.
And if we go to a place that, hey, we lose power once or twice a day and we don't have backup, sometimes it's off for a couple hours.
This is not the system.
You're probably not going to want this. You're going
Understood.
to want the standard system that works without any power, has a storage tank, so that when your power goes out, you're still going to have water.
So right now, where are we at right now? I don't know if I told you guys. I'm at my penthouse in Punta Palmera. Where's Punta Palmera? It is in Cap Cana in the Dominican Republic. Okay, so specifically this would go to all of our potential clients here in Cap Cana. And if you live at Punta Palmera, then reach out because this is what we're doing. And the system that we're putting in is the one that we recommend for Punta Palmera and possibly other similar residences here.
Correct. We've tested the water here at
Where's
this,
your little
at
test?
this location.
we're gonna pull that test for you really quick. He's gonna show you exactly what we did. What we're doing here is Jeremy went and grabbed the tests, okay, that he did. He did these yesterday, so about 12 hours or so, maybe a little bit more. He's gonna explain the testing because there's 2 main tests. What are the 2 tests that you're gonna be doing as soon as he walks into somebody's unit? We highly recommend that you're gonna do these tests immediately. Cost is not cost prohibitive at all, but he's gonna explain that to you. Go for it. What was test number 1?
So the first test that we did when we got here was a bacterial test. This is going to test for all the bad stuff that
Out of this tab right here.
out of that tap right there. Yesterday at 7 o'clock last night. What this is going to test for is all the bad bacteria, E. coli, all that stuff that has a tendency to make people ill, stomach
Got it. Yep.
stomach things. So we did a test. This actually takes 24 hours, but I can already tell you that there's bacteria in the water because it's turning green already, and that means there's
Looks like there's stuff growing in there.
That's just the cultures that they put.
For the test.
Yeah, they put a culture for the test. You fill it up with the water, then you're supposed to wait 24 hours. But this is already tinting green.
What color was it supposed to be?
It's yellow, like a clear yellow. If there's no bacteria,
And
a green if there is bacteria. But this hasn't even incubated all the way yet. And
What's your
it's-
forecast?
and it's already turning green.
what's your forecast from your
There's
experience?
absolutely bacteria in the tap water here.
Okay. Okay, so that was a key thing for Carissa and myself too. We're like,
Right.
is there bacteria? Is there bacteria? So we're already on the verge of getting that answer. Now, are you gonna by the end of the full? And how long does the full test take for the bacteria?
So in what, about 6 or 7 hours? This will
More?
This will be complete. 7
Full
o'clock.
test. About 7 o'clock.
That'll be the
So
24-hour period.
Got it.
But this is, like I said, it's already turning green.
it's already failed. the
So it's
test.
already failed. So the other thing we test for is the total dissolved solids. What that is all of the sediment that makes up water. When you fill up a glass of water in a clear glass, if it's that little kind of foggy color, not clear, all that's sediment. It's sand, it's silt, it's organics, it's everything that leaches into the water and creates small, tiny, invisible particles.
Is that necessary? Is that to say? Is that also bacteria, or that's independent? This is
Not
just
necessarily
sediment.
bacteria. It's probably some bad stuff in there, some good stuff in there, but it's just an overall the clarity of the water.
Got it. Got it.
Total dissolved solids.
So what was the test? What did we see here?
So
when
a
we did this?
typical standard.
Where's that little container we have?
That wasn't a container. That was just a meter.
Oh, it's a meter. Okay, so you actually use that
Right.
tool you have,
We use a tool
and you
meter
test it,
to
and it
test
reads it
that.
right away.
So a typical TDS or acceptable is anything under 400 or so TDS. and we were at 440 here. Not terrible, but a little bit over the threshold.
You were telling me about the water in North America. You're from Michigan, so you guys trace back in the video. So your first time to the channel. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to have a section on the channel here that is just dedicated to water filtration systems. Jeremy's from Michigan. Why does he specialize in water now? Guys, tell him a little bit about your background as a fire inspector from Michigan. Putting these systems in the.
Yeah, I just kind of happened upon this from my job, and then it kind of folded into
A passion.
So yeah, I've been a firefighter for 28 years now. For 20 of those years, I was the fire chief. I did inspections, I did construction, reviews, architectural reviews, design, stuff like that. The whole gamut of residential and commercial building. Our stations that we had, our fire stations, were not municipal supplied water, so we had wells. The home that I lived in and built, we had wells. That all kind of has a whole different thing to it as far as the water that you get. You always have to be testing the water, you have to get filtration systems.
Sometimes people feel that when they have a well, it's natural water and they're safe.
No.
Is that almost furthest thing from the
That's
truth?
actually furthest thing from the
Okay.
truth. Well, with well water, you have to actually do more steps to make sure the quality of the water is good.
Why is that?
It depends on what kind of vein that you get, where you're drilling at.
Oh, totally.
Sometimes you'll get lucky and get a nice clean aquifer, but more than that, you're going to have stuff that you're going to need to test for. I know in Michigan, if you have well water, it's a good thing to get tested through the county, like every 2 years, send in a sample just to check to make sure nothing's leached in and stuff.
Like lead, we were hearing about that in Michigan a little while ago. Right?
So yeah, we actually ended up installing RO systems in all of our fire stations.
Nice.
I had one in my home. And then when we moved, or when we started coming here about 10, 12 years ago, we actually had a place in Cabarete. I started testing the water there and was astounded by the bad quality of water. And I said, there's no way that we should be drinking this water. So I installed one in our Cabarete condo.
Exactly.
And we moved to Las Terrenas.
Yep. And
First thing I did before we even moved in is I installed an RO system there.
Exactly. So the case in point is none of this is new to Jeremy, and what we did with our suppliers is we actually brought them down. They spent time here, they analyzed the water, so the systems that we have brought here, the systems that we are bringing to these guys are actually made for the quality of the water in the Dominican Republic.
Yep, that's correct. We have partnered with Canister Water, our distributor. They are one of the largest water filtration companies in North America. They sent an engineer down back in February, and him and I went around for 3 days to different regions of the area, testing water, looking at what's in it, how to treat it, and then they went back and designed specific systems for Dominican water. Because
Which is key,
it is nowhere near the same as North America, Canada, United States, totally different. And so we've designed this equipment, the filters that go in them, to handle the type of water that we deal with here.
One thing I'm going to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to do it in this video, but I'll just allude to it really quick. I am very big on water. I drink tons and tons of water. I insist Elle drinks a ton of water. So for our family, it's really important. I had installed a system in my unit. As you guys know, I have a penthouse in Las Terrenas, and I installed a water filtration system. The problem that happened is it was generic, and I bought it on Amazon. That's what everybody does, and they stick it into their place. And Jeremy just had to go visit it about 2 weeks ago because we had a problem, and he said, "Cash, this system is destroyed." Okay, because it wasn't tailor-made to the water that the system has to filter in the Dominican Republic.
It was not.
And you Alright guys, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to run you through the actual footage that Jeremy sent me so you guys get a good feel. This is what you get from Amazon, and this is the mistake I made.
Alright, Cash, so I'm at your place. Got the water shut down for now. I wanted to check to see what was in these old filter cartridges and the reason behind all the clogs and stuff throughout the rest of the fixtures and plumbing in the condo. So I just removed this first one, which is your primary sediment filter. It's mud. It's just mud.
You were like, this is why we're doing what we're doing.
It totally blocked up your filter system. It was basically mud when I took the cartridges off.
So basically $3,000 down the tube is essentially what happened.
Yep.
And that's why we want that added step. But we'll go into that video, we'll go into that detail in another video. Right now, what I'm doing and why I want to hit play and record is because I want you guys to understand this Undersink system that we're going to be putting here inside Punta Palmera, because this will be the exact system that we're going to be saying other people that have a unit here should install.
Yep.
If they want to do the whole home system, a little bit more complex,
Yes.
can be done.
It can be done, yes.
Okay.
You know, based on where the architecture of the buildings here, where the utilities come in and the water sources, the size of the apartments.
Yeah.
Some spots it's easier, others it's not going to be as easy.
What we have found out already in our short research is that the penthouses, it's going to be a little bit easier because you have your own water closet out in the hallway. I don't know if you owners, if anybody's watching this video and you're an owner here at Punta Palmera, you have your own water closet if you have a penthouse. If you're floor 2 or 1, you don't, you're sharing a water closet and you have limited space as well. So that's why this system that we're talking about right now under the counter is going to be a sure shot play. We can definitely get that one done for you.
Absolutely. And
get it installed. Probably, what do you think the install, and we're gonna take you along for the install process, but what do you think time frame wise? When you this is the standard setup, guys, in Punta Palmera. You have this sink, this faucet, typically this much space. This is what you're looking at.
Yeah, typically an hour, 2 hours max, if everything goes smoothly.
Got it.
They're not that difficult to install because they're compact. They go into the sink. They tap right into your water that's coming out for your sink. But you have a separate fixture, so you'll have a separate fixture off to the
Whereabouts
side.
is that going to be? You
can place it wherever you want to within the range of the sink, but it's a small fixture.
Yeah, let's see that
It'll
thing.
basically look like this.
All right.
And it will just set wherever you choose to put it there on your sink, and this is where you'll get your water out of. And then we also have options if you have a refrigerator that does ice maker and
Amazing.
water. We can then run a tube over to that and supply your refrigerator with the water to make ice and have fresh water coming out of that.
And that is something that we're going to be doing in our install over here with Jeremy. So you're going to see us get this thing set up. We're going to share clips with you. We're going to get that water. We're going to get ice being made. And all your fridges here in Punta Palmera, they're all standard. Okay, they all came with the unit. So they're all going to be basically the same. Now, some of you may have upgraded, but all of them have the ability to pump the water and make the ice. I know mine does over here. So tell me a couple more things about this system. Why you believe this one would be the best option. You don't think we need a tank here because we don't really run out of power too often over here. So this is the play, you believe, right?
Right, yeah, and when you do run out of power, I'm sure it's probably back on immediately, right?
There's only been a couple scenarios where we've been powerless.
Yeah, so because of that, yes, I suggest using one of these only because it takes up less space. It's a 5-stage system, and it's easier for scheduled maintenance.
Explain 5-stage system to me.
So the 5-stage system means that's how many filtration cycles it goes through. So it starts here with a 5 micron and a micron. Just to give you an idea, a 1 micron is 1/1,000,000th of a meter.
Wow.
So
That's stage 1.
To kind of compare that, well, that'll be stage 3.
Okay.
To kind of compare that, a human hair, the width of a human hair is about 50 microns.
Perfect.
So we are filtering down past 1 micron. But it starts at a 5 micron filter, and that's to catch any large sediment that may still be in the water. Filter that out, and then it goes through a carbon filter. The carbon filter takes out all of any chlorine, any organics, pesticides, smells, odors, that type of stuff, and it cleans it through the granulated carbon granules. Then after that, it goes through a 1 micron filter. So it's getting filtered way down. At that point, the 4th stage of the system is the workhorse of the system, and that's the actual reverse osmosis element. And what the reverse osmosis membrane is if you can maybe zoom in on that, it's basically a fabric with microscopic holes that is wound up. You can see the spirals in here.
Yep.
And it's wound up to a certain diameter, and nothing gets past this except H2O. It kills bacteria.
Okay, I was going to ask you, this is killing sediment. We know that's not. What about bacteria?
This is killing all the bacteria. Nothing gets past an RO membrane. And so after it goes through that, and then it goes through a polishing, which is a post-carbon, just goes through.
What's that mean, a polishing?
It just kind of polishes the water a little bit. It's like a final clarity step. It goes through, again, this is charcoal in here.
Got it. Will you feel it in the taste? Did it taste
Nope,
better?
you
No?
can't taste any. You can't taste.
Tastes
any of
no different.
it. Tastes no different.
Got it.
And then it comes out of your faucet, and that's basically the process of a.
And all that is
reverse osmosis
happening
system.
right here.
Yep.
Now in the front, Jeremy, if you want to come to the front, I noticed, and we're going to show this to everybody, but I can see an LED screen.
Yeah, so
of
this
some
is,
sort.
again, another feature of this unit here. It's a little bit above the standard one.
Good.
This has an LED, and it just basically keeps track of the wear and tear of the filters. And it lets you know, hey, this filter's getting clogged, it's probably a need for repair or replacement. Typically, on a system like this, with the type of water that is in Palmera here, we would replace the 4 filters every 6 months. And then the actual RO membrane filter, these will last a year and a half, 2 years before you have to replace these.
Understood.
The cost effective of the 4 filters is about $40 per change for everything.
It's amazing.
And that would be us coming out.
Oh, that's like done and
That's
done.
like done and done.
Okay, amazing. Okay, great.
So it's very inexpensive to change these filters out. That would be done again twice a year, every 6 months. And then your
We'll send them a message, hey.
Yeah, we'll put you on
access,
we'll
it's
put you on a
coming.
maintenance plan,
Got
so
it,
so
perfect.
we know when you're due, and we'll give you a heads up on that. And then the reverse osmosis filter, this gets changed out probably 18 to 24 months.
Got it.
And again, we'd put you on a replacement plan to do that too. These are a little bit more expensive than that. Just the filters, these filters here are about $70.
Okay.
But again, it's every
70
other year.
installed. Like
70
guy
installed.
comes out, we
Yep.
get it all done. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Perfect. That's good to know.
So yeah, it's pretty cost effective for the maintenance plans on these. The filters aren't that expensive, and
The last thing I wanted to talk to you about a little bit was right before we end this video is you might have to, you have people out there. We were one of them because over here right now we're using the blue jug.
Right.
We had a bad experience with our water filtration system that we didn't install, by the way. That it was sent and somebody else installed it, and that's why I made a decision like, hey, Jeremy, let's do this. Let's bring some clean water here to the Dominican Republic because too many people. This was my concern. Like I was saying, I drink a lot of water, tons of water. These damn blue jugs. When I will drive through town, I'll do a video, a little short for you guys. These things are stacked on these little pickups, and they're in all directions, full of water, baking in the sun, and it irks me that I'm giving this water to L, and I'm like, I gotta do something about this. And that's kind of the origination for myself. He gave you his background, and I said, something's gotta be done better than this. Then you see these jugs, when they're empty, they're sitting all over the place, rolling on the ground.
I've actually seen dogs urinating
No.
on them.
Is
I'm
it-
not
it-
joking.
no, I know. I
I've
believe
driven,
you.
I've driven by a bottled
No,
water
but-
place, and the empty bottles are sitting out there just thrown in
Absolutely,
the
guys.
ground.
And that's not a far stretch. You think when you have, let's say you have you have a colmata and you have water jar, you're leaving them outside, and there's dogs running around, they're
Yeah.
peeing on it. Guys, I'm not saying people don't do their job and don't clean them, but man, even if it's an honest mistake, that's an expensive honest mistake.
It is.
So one thing before we let you go is Jeremy has done some tests as well on the blue jugs. I want you to share a little bit of that with them.
Yeah, so again, going back to Cabarete, when we had our condo in Cabarete years ago, and I got accustomed to the water here, we had the blue jug with the cooler in our condo, and I ended up bringing down a water test kit on one of the times that we came down to vacation in our condo. Just because I was suspicious or curious, I wanted to know,
Yeah.
I don't know, what the blue jugs, because like Cash said, I by that time I was witnessing the transportation of these things and how they're stored and how they're kept. And,
That's when you get hurt.
and so one time when we came down to vacation, I brought a full gamut of water tests down, including a bacterial test, and I took 4 different blue jugs that we had, took samples out of each one, put them in bacterial tests, and 2 out of the 4 tested positive for bacteria.
So
Since then, I've probably done about 18 to 20 sporadic
this
tests.
right here, right? This is what's
Correct.
tested.
Now that's not the that's the test from your tap.
Yeah.
We do
But
have
this is the same
we
test.
have a test right now incubating in the other room that we
Okay.
took from
gonna
Cash's
share
Blue
with
Jug
you in another
that we'll
video.
share with you. This we wanted to make sure it was a good long correct test, so the actual media that we use takes about twice as long to compare.
Okay.
So we're waiting for the results.
waiting for
on
the
that.
result, yeah.
And like I said, my experience with testing blue jug water, about on average 1 out of 4 test positive for bacteria.
That's awful.
I can't tell you what levels those are,
Yeah, of course.
Right.
But there's bacteria.
but there's bacteria. And when I say bacteria, I mean E. coli, which is the cause of stomach flu.
And
other bad
I
stuff.
think a lot of those things tie into the infrastructure that could be in place or lack thereof. Do you have covered trucks? Do you have cooled trucks? Where's the stuff sitting? Storage facilities? It's just an endless array. And we're not just talking about here in Dominican Republic, where it might be a little more prone to it. Even in North America, it's the same thing. The blue jugs.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're not faulting.
Of
any
course,
these
exactly,
companies.
exactly.
I'm certain that they
I don't
probably.
think anybody is maliciously doing this.
No,
Nobody would maliciously do it.
It's
But-
just something that happens, and I have evidence of it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
ever since then, I have never drank out of a blue jug.
I'm really excited to not buy another blue jug again. There's also a cost component to it. Not that, right now this is not really a cost discussion. Clean water is
Clean
something
water
of
is
necessity,
clean water.
but nevertheless, there still is a cost component. I think I'm burning through because I drink a ton of water. I think we're getting like four big 5 gallons like every 4 or 5 days or something. Like we're flying through water. So there's a cost associated with it. And I'm going to confirm with Chris exactly how much we're spending, but I'm going to think we're spending at least $50 a month, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, I thought that was interesting, and that's why we're here today so I don't have to buy another one of those. Our goal is that we're gonna put a whole home system, because if you do, then I can drink, like Jeremy was saying, I can drink the water out of the shower.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Really important, I think we have a baby, like little kids that might actually drink the water out of the tap. Elle's 8
Oh,
now, so she's
absolutely.
not going
Brushing
to.
your teeth.
Ear infections, you were talking about your
Yeah,
wife,
washing
like
your hair,
she got a haircut and the water got in there and ear
She's got ear
infection.
infection. Yep. Yeah, and also, I mean, not just drinking. I mean, washing your fruit and vegetables, your
That's
produce.
so important, yeah.
I
E.
mean,
coli and that all the time.
that's what I use our RO for. If I go
Yes.
buy a head of lettuce, it's getting rinsed in the RO water. I'm not using it in my tap water for that.
Exactly. That's what our nanny does over here. She has to blue jug it, rinse it all, and I highly suggest you do that even if you don't get a system. Make sure you wash all your veggies here. Okay, so what we're gonna do in the next video, guys, thanks for joining us here. We've got a chance to kind of understand the system. Anything else particular about this system? I think you covered everything pretty well.
Yeah, like I said, it's a well-built system. It's new. It's compact. It's sleek. It's got the LED readout on it. It's got kind of the bells and whistles on it. Yeah. So this is just kind of the top model of the RO systems that we carry.
Give me an idea, ballpark. Price point, assuming straightforward install, you're not breaking any walls, you're not, cut through crazy counters.
Straightforward install, and you've got countertops that we can drill a hole, and it's not, some kind of priceless material.
Exactly.
You're talking $820 installed.
Okay, got it.
Done with tax.
Everything included about that 820 mark. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Hope this stuff is helping you because I do a lot of very cool things here in the Dominican Republic, as Jeremy knows. He's also initially was a client of mine as well. Now he's one of my best friends. So what we are doing here is creating a lifestyle, and part of that lifestyle, when you're buying a home or you're buying a condo or you're building a home, whatever that is, having clean water is like at the forefront of the entire thing. Okay? Because that's the one thing.
Yeah, to me, if you're investing into a home
In the Dominican Republic,
apartment
sure.
in the Dominican Republic, this is minuscule.
Exactly.
But it's so important.
Absolutely.
So important.
Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks for joining us here. Hopefully this helps. Please remember to like, subscribe, share. If you know anyone out there that is looking to buy or has bought or owns already, then reach out to me. Send me a WhatsApp, and I'll connect with Jeremy, and let's dive deep into water solutions for these guys. Yep. All right, guys, thanks again, and love what you drink.
Thanks everybody.